So, kayo masyadong kabahan. Madalas yung medyo complicated is nandun sa first part ng biology session ninyo. Okay? Pero for this second part, it's really more on the basics and also genetics. So, yun talaga yung favorite sa EdMath, genetics. And it's going to be our next topic. So, if wala naman po tayong babalikan na slides or if wala naman po kayong questions, so let's now move on to genetics. Okay? So, kapag sinabi natin na genetics, this is the study of heredity. Ay kung paano natin napapasa-pasa yung mga traits natin from one generation to another. And the thing about genetics na medyo mahirap is that it has its own terminologies. Na may mga sariling jargon itong genetics natin. So, isa-isahin lang natin yung mga terminologies. So, first we have your gene and allele. Kapag sinabi natin na gene, this is your basic unit of heredity. Diba? Meron tayong gene for hair color, gene for skin color, gene for the shape of your nose, shape of your eyes. Kahit nga kung gaano ka nag-release or nagpo-produce ng hair would also be controlled by your genes. Okay, so let's just have hair color as an example. Kunyari, gene A for hair color. So, ano naman itong si allele? So, si gene, hindi naman tayo pare-pareho, di ba, ng gene. So, kahit lahat tayo ay may hair color, hindi naman tayo pare-pareho ng hair color. At ang nagde-decide kung ano yung magiging particular na hair color natin is your allele. It's your alternative form of genes. Okay? So, kung meron tayong gene A for hair color, meron tayong allele na capital A, siguro for black hair, and meron tayong allele na small a for brown hair. At depende kung ano yung makuha nating allele, yun yung makuha natin na hair color or yung ma-express natin na hair color. Okay? And how do we determine yung expression ng alleles? It's through your dominant and recessive traits. Kapag sinabi natin na dominant ang isang trait, it means that you only need one dominant allele to express it. Okay? So if you have allele pairs, so yung alleles kasi natin comes in pairs yan. So kung yung allele pair natin ay parehong malaki or dominant yung alleles, or at least may isang capital letter, dominant trait agad yung may express. Okay? In contrast, you have your recessive traits. Si recessive traits, ito yung mas mahiyain na traits natin. Okay? It needs two recessive alleles or yung maliit na letter na allele in order for us to show the trait. So, para tayo ay magkaroon, kunwari, ng brown hair, as per the example, kailangan ninyo ng dalawang maliit na allele or ng dalawang recessive allele. This is the only time na magkaka-brown hair kayo. Pero remember, yun nga, pagdating sa dominant, you just need at least one dominant allele para ma-express si black hair. Okay? So, yun yung difference ng dominant and recessive traits. Yung isa, siya yung bida-bida, iisang allele lang yung kailangan niya, isang dominant allele lang yung kailangan niya para ma-express siya. The other naman, si recessive, siya yung mahiyain, kailangan pa niya ng dalawang recessive traits in order to become expressed. Okay? Then we also have here your genotype versus phenotype. Kapag sinabi natin na genotype, this is the genetic constitution of your individual. So we refer to this as your allele pairs. Okay? So ito yung actual allele makeup ng isang individual. That means it can be dalawang dominant, isang recessive, or dalawang recessive. So kapag tinanong kayo sa exam, what is the genotype of this individual, ang isasagot ninyo ay itong mga letters na to. Okay? But for your phenotype, this is your express characteristic. So kapag tinanong kayo sa exam, give me the phenotype of this individual, what you're going to answer is the actual trait. So either black hair or brown hair. Okay? And then last, we have your homozygous and your heterozygous. Homozygous, as the name implies, homo means same. So ito yung ating allele pair or yung genotype natin that would have the same type of alleles. So pwedeng parehong dominant or pwedeng parehong recessive. So kapag sinabi na homozygous dominant, this is what it looks like. We have two capital or two dominant alleles. Kapag naman sinabi na homozygous recessive, may dalawa tayong recessive na alleles. So this is what it looks like. And then we have your heterozygous or heterozygote. So these are your allele pairs or genotypes na magkaiba yung alleles. So yan yung isang dominant, isang recessive. Okay? Take note lang guys ha, na yung heterozygote stand alone yan. It's not heterozygous dominant, it's not heterozygous recessive. It's just heterozygous. Okay? It's not dominant, it's not recessive. It's a league of its own. Heterozygote or heterozygous. Okay. So those are the terminologies that you have to memorize. May memorize talaga, guys. Hindi pwedeng familiar lang. You have to memorize all of these terms if you want to answer genetics problems. Okay? Kasi yan yung magiging basis natin sa genetics. Wala kayong ibang makikitang terms sa mga genetics problems, kundi ito lang. So you have to be super familiar with these. Okay? So with that, pwede nyo na pong kopyahin yung slide. Sige. Ayan. Okay? So especially guys, dun sa mga yan, yung sa mga wala masyadong background on genetics, kailangan nyo talaga tong aralin ha. Kasi hindi nawawala ang mga genetics questions sa NMAT. Okay, there's gonna be at least 2 or 3 or maybe even 5 questions about genetics sa NMAT exam. So you really need to study this. Okay? So now let's have a quick example. So just a review. So syempre siguro marunong naman kayong tumingin ng mga crosses natin when it comes to genetics. So in cats, long hair is recessive to short hair. A true breeding homozygous short-haired male is mated to a long-haired female. What will their kittens look like? So before we start, okay, kailangan muna nating alamin kung ano yung ating cross. So ano po yung homozygous short-haired? Can you give me the genotype? What would be the genotype of your true breeding homozygous short-haired male? Yan. Again, long hair is the recessive trait. Short hair, o syempre kung recessive na si long, edi ito yung dominant. So what will be the genotype of the true breeding short-haired male? Oh, ano pa lang to guys ha? Yung general pa lang na crosses. So wag niyo munang gamitin yung sex-linked notation. So for this one, it's going to be, so I'm just gonna use A muna ha. It's going to be homozygous dominant. So, di ba again, short hair is the dominant trait. So, pag sinabing homozygous, tapos dominant, so you're gonna get homozygous dominant. Just like this. What about the long-haired female? What is going to be the genotype of the long-haired female? Alright, very good. Homozygous recessive. Because again, long hair is a recessive trait. So this is gonna be your cross. Kaya ito yung parental cross natin. Homozygous dominant X your homozygous recessive. Oh, paano natin to i-cross? Madali lang. So, hindi nyo natatandaan. So, magdodrawing lang kayo ng square. Tapos, ilalagay lang ninyo yung alleles ng mga parents dun sa gilid. Okay? Parang ganito lang. So, dito natin, kahit saan naman. So, dito ka lang ilalagay yung lalaki. So, dito si homozygous dominant. Tapos, dito yung babae, si homozygous recessive. And then, after that, iko-combine nyo lang yung mga magkakatapat na alleles. So what is going to be the phenotype, like genotype of the first offspring? Dito, sa first quadrant. Ano yung kanyang genotype? Okay, very good. Heterozygote. Kasi di ba, dominant, tapos mix mo sa recessive, gonna give you a heterozygote. What about the second offspring? Dito sa second quadrant. Ano kaya ang kaniyang genotype? Ganun pa rin. Okay? Hetero pa rin. Ganun din sa third offspring, di ba? Kasi dominant X, your recessive is still going to give you a heterozygote. Last. Ganun pa rin. Okay? Again, dominant X, your recessive is still going to give you a heterozygote. Meaning, lahat ng kanilang mga anak or offspring are going to be heterozygotes. Okay, so for the genotype, 4 na heterozygote ang meron tayo. Ano na ngayon yung magiging genotype natin? Ay, genotype, phenotype. Nalilito na ako. Protype type. So what would be the phenotype of the offsprings? Lahat ba sila short hair? Lahat ba sila long hair? Kalahati bang short, kalahating long? Anong mangyayari? Okay, very good. Lahat short hair. So 100% short-haired yan. Okay? So guys kapag hetero yung binibigay sa inyo, hindi po yan kalahating short, kalahating long. Okay? Again, what's going to be expressed is the dominant allele. So kaya lahat yan short-haired. Hindi po yan hindi po yan medium. Okay? Yan medium-haired. All of them are going to be short-haired because you are going to express the dominant allele. That's it for the example. Okay? Pakicopy na lang guys ng solution. Sige po. Ayan. So far, what we've been discussing is what you call the Mendelian genetics. And Mendelian genetics is the widely accepted genetics. Okay? So, kapag Mendelian genetics, ang ibig sabihin yan, meron tayong dominant at saka recessive na allele. Okay? At yun lang yung pwede nating ma-express na traits. Either dominant or recessive. However, syempre, nature is very magical. Ayan. So, meron tayong mga traits that don't necessarily conform dun sa ating Mendelian genetics. Ang tawag natin sa kanila, non-Mendelian genetics. Surprise! Ayan, non-Mendelian genetics. And sa non-Mendelian genetics, may tinatawag tayo na codominance. Okay, kapag sinabi natin na codominance, this means that you have two dominant traits that are being expressed. Okay, as compared, diba, sa Mendelian genetics, na nga lang natin, dapat either dominant lang or recessive. Pero in codominance, dalawang dominant traits na magkaiba yung ine-express natin. Para mas madali nyo siyang ma-visualize, tignan niyo yung flower dito sa gilid. Di ba mapapansin niyo na dito sa flower, meron tayong kalahating white, kalahating red na kulay dun sa petals. This means both your red and white are dominant traits at pareho silang na-express ng bulaklak. Okay? Another example of codominance is your blood type AB. So kung kayo ay blood type AB, ayan, perfect example kayo of codominance. What does this mean? Meron po kayong traits ng ating blood type A at meron din kayong traits ng blood type B. Okay? Nare-retain ninyo yung traits ng parehong blood types. Ayun yung codominance natin. Another non-Mendelian genetics is multiple alleles. Yung multiple alleles natin, malamang, so ito yung mga traits na maraming alleles. Okay? Example natin dito, blood type pa rin. Okay? So yung blood type family. Remember guys, sa blood type family, may tatlo tayo na antigen. Yung antigens na yon is your A, B, and O. At yung A, B, O na yan, Yan yung alleles din natin. Si allele A or si antigen A would have its own characteristics. Si antigen B may sarili rin niyang characteristics. Si antigen O may iba rin niyang characteristics. So all of these antigens or alleles would have their own characteristics. Kaya multiple alleles sila. Okay? So ayan. Yan yung ating non-Mendelian genetics. Meron din tayong tinatawag na incomplete dominance. Hindi lang nasama dito. So, incomplete dominance. So, sa incomplete dominance naman, medyo kinulang yung dominant trait natin. Okay? Example natin dito, for example, meron tayong dominant trait na red, na petal. Tapos meron tayong recessive trait na white petal. Incomplete dominance is when hati. Okay, as in nagmi-mix yung dominant at saka recessive natin. Not like the codominance pero as in magmi-mix sila. So yung offspring usually kapag ito yung example natin, ang kulay nila ay pink. Okay? So ayan. So yan yung incomplete dominance. Medyo kinulang yung ating dominant trait, hindi niya completely na mask off si recessive trait. Okay, kaya yung kanilang offspring madalas ay mixture, as in magandang mixture ng ating dominant at saka recessive na traits. So do not confuse it with codominance because in codominance, parehong dominant yung traits na na-express. But in incomplete dominance, it's a mixture of your dominant and recessive traits. Okay? So that's it. So yan yung ating non-Mendelian genetics. So you can also search the internet for a few more examples. Pero guys, do not focus too much on this. Kasi minsan nagpapakita to, minsan hindi. Okay, so enough na familiar lang kayo dun sa tatlong types. Pero you don't really need to focus on this one. Okay? Ayan. So pakicopy na lang po nung slide. Okay? So now, let's move on to your pedigree. So yung pedigree po guys, hindi ito yung class or hindi ito yung pagkain ng aso ha. So pedigree is basically your family tree, but with a genetic twist. Okay, so in a pedigree, makikita mo dito yung mga relationship ng isang pamilya. So from sa kinanunuan nyo pa, yan, great-great-grandparents up to the current generation. And what's interesting about your pedigree is makikita mo dito kung sino yung may mga specific na genetic traits or diseases. Kaya nga, di ba, madalas kapag nagpupunta kayo sa doktor, tinatanong yung family history ninyo. Kasi marami tayong mga sakit na genetic. Okay? And through the pedigree, may kita natin kung sino sa pamilya ninyo yung may malaking possibility of getting the genetic trait or disease. Okay. And in pedigree, we have two main types. Yung dalawang main types natin, the first one is your autosomal inheritance. Kapag sinabi natin na autosomal inheritance, ito po yung mga traits that are passed on equally sa mga babae at saka sa lalaki. Okay? Wala siyang sexual predilection, wala siyang sexual bias. Okay? Usually, kapag tinignan natin yung pedigree ng isang autosomal inheritance, equal po yung number ng lalaki at saka mga babae na affected. Okay? Para malaman natin kung affected ang isang tao or isang individual, so sila po yung naka-shade. Ha? Sila yung naka-shade. Yan. So, equal yung babae at saka lalaki na shaded. So, ito po yung tinatawag natin na affected female. Yan. Siya yan, yung bilog na naka-shade. Ito naman yung affected male. Yung square na naka-shade. Kapag naman unshaded, so ito yung unaffected. Okay? Ayan. And then next, So we have your sex-linked or your X-linked inheritance. So, sabi ko sa inyo, sex-linked siya. Kaya dito, mapapansin ninyo yung sexual predilection or sexual bias. So, kapag binigyan kayo ng pedigree for an X-linked inheritance, you will notice na pwedeng mas marami yung babae or pwedeng mas marami yung lalaki na naka-shade or nakaitim. Okay? Bakit kaya siya sex-linked? It's because your gene of interest is located in your sex chromosome, particularly in the X chromosome. Okay? So, ayan. So, depende na lang kung saan mapapasa yung X chromosome mo. So, most likely, so yun yung magiging mga affected na individuals. Kung sino yung napasahan mo ng X chromosome. So, that is how your X-linked inheritance works. Okay? Again, guys, for autosomal, equal yung number ng babae at saka lalaki na naka-shade. For X-linked, either mas marami yung babae or pwedeng mas marami yung lalaki na naka-shade. So, yan yung pinaka-main difference ng ating autosomal and X-linked. So, feel free pa to copy the slide. Sige po. Ay, may nagtanong. Ay, what's the difference po between sex-linked and sex-influence? Sex-linked po is a totally different inheritance mode. Meanwhile, yung sex-influence po, minsan kasi sa autosomal inheritance, so very rare, ay very piling mga diseases or traits lang to. Pero minsan kasi sa autosomal inheritance, may mga traits tayo na influenced by sex. I think one good example of sex influence is baldness. Okay? It's not necessarily, you don't really necessarily see the trait sa X chromosome. So it's an autosomal trait. However, may common pattern siya na nakikita lang siya sa mga lalaki. So even if it's an autosomal trait that's not, it's not located on the X chromosome, there is a pattern that you see it in a particular gender. So yun yung sex influence. Okay? Autosomal po yan. Okay? Hindi po siya sex-linked. Kaya sila magkaiba. Okay? Then sex-linked po, nasa X chromosome yung ating gene of interest. But for sex influence, it's not in the X chromosome. It's an autosomal trait. However, ayun nga, kind of may pattern na nakikita mo siya at a particular sex. Okay? So, yun yung difference nila. Pero ayun, yun lang yung naaalala ko na example ng sex influence, baldness sa mga lalaki. So, yung mga baldness, yan, yung kung may baldness kayo sa pamilya, it's actually an autosomal trait, pero ayun, it's just very common in males. Okay? Ayun. So, let's move on to the next slide. So, pag-usapan lang natin yung autosomal inheritance. Si autosomal inheritance, may types pa yan. It's not just autosomal inheritance. There's still autosomal dominant and autosomal recessive. Kapag sinabi natin na autosomal dominant, so the dominant trait po yung ating gene of interest. Okay? Or yung gene of interest natin would be dominant. Okay? Dominant trait. So this means, yung mga shaded natin na individuals express a dominant trait. So ito, si kuya na to, dominant yan. Si ate na to, dominant yan. Ito rin, yung nakashade na to, ito rin, lahat ng nakashade, puro sila dominant. Okay? So that is your autosomal dominant. Lahat ng nakashade po sa pedigree would show the dominant trait. Eh, what about the unshaded? So yung mga unshaded, lahat yan recessive. etc. Lahat ng mga unshaded natin dito would have recessive trait. Okay? And ang clue natin, so pag binigyan po kayo ng pedigree and you have to identify whether it's autosomal dominant or whatever, so ang mapapansin niyo lahat ng generation, so lahat ng rows natin ay may at least isang nakashade or affected. Okay? So yun yung pinaka-clue natin for autosomal dominant. Okay? Pareho yung number ng males and females or at least medyo pareho sila ng number. Tapos lahat ng rows, lahat ng generations may at least isang affected. So that is a telltale clue that your pedigree is showing autosomal dominant inheritance. Sa pakikopya, yan. And so if we have autosomal dominant, so meron din tayong autosomal recessive. At sa autosomal recessive naman, so yung focus natin dito na trait is the recessive trait. This means yung mga shaded individual natin dun sa pedigree would be recessive. Shaded individuals express recessive trait. Okay? So itong si kuya na to, so recessive siya. Ito rin si ate, recessive siya. The rest, puro dominant yan. Baka may magtanong, ma'am, ano po yung half-shaded? So yung half-shaded, ito yung tinatawag natin na carrier, also known as your heterozygote. Okay? Ang problema lang guys, itong si half-shaded, medyo di na siya ginagamit sa mga official na pedigree. So most likely, pagdating sa NMAT, hindi nyo to makikita. Okay? They're just going to appear as unshaded individuals. Pero ayan, so in this particular example though, yung mga half-shaded natin, ito yung carrier or yung heterozygote. Okay? And then, ang clue natin for your autosomal recessive inheritance would be skipping of generations. So, kung makakita po kayo ng pedigree kung saan equal yung number ng shaded na babae at saka lalaki, pero hindi lahat ng generation or hindi lahat ng rows ay may affected na individual, then you are looking at an autosomal recessive inheritance. Okay? So, pakikopya. And the next. Ayan. So, now let's talk about your X-linked. So, we have your X-linked recessive inheritance. Sa X-linked recessive inheritance natin, so kind of similar to your autosomal, so yung shaded na individuals din natin dito would express the recessive trait. Okay? So, lahat ng shaded dyan, ito si nanay, recessive. Ito rin, recessive. Siya rin, recessive. Ito rin, recessive. Meanwhile, lahat ng unshaded individuals natin would be dominant. Okay? At ang clue natin dito sa X-linked recessive would be a mother-to-son transmission. Okay? And madalas, mas marami tayong makikitang nakashade na lalaki kumpara sa babae. So dito, di ba, sa particular example na to, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 na lalaki na nakashade, pero tatatlo lang yung babae na shaded. Okay? So it's a mother-to-son transmission. Kapag sinabi natin na mother-to-son transmission, mapapansin ninyo, shaded si nanay, all sons are shaded din. Ito, tignan natin yung example. Di ba yung nanay dito, siya ay affected, siya ay nakashade. Mapapansin mo, lahat ng anak niyang lalaki, etong dalawang to, di ba mga anak niya yung lalaki, nakashade din sila. Affected din sila. Kaya ang tawag natin sa X-linked recessive ay mother-to-son transmission. Ma'am, paano po kapag kunwari yung nanay hindi naman shaded, pero yung isang anak niya ay shaded? For example, ito. Yan, yung example natin ay this one. Si nanay ay hindi naman siya shaded, di ba? So that means dominant yung trait niya. Pero bakit yung isa niyang anak naka-shade? Anong meron? This means that the mother is most likely a carrier. Okay? So kapag si nanay po ay unshaded pero yung kanyang anak na lalaki ay naka-shade, most likely carrier po si nanay. Okay? So that's it for your X-linked recessive. So, aralin nyo to guys ha. So reviewin nyo to. Most likely, na-discuss nyo to either high school or college. Ayan. Okay? And the next, so kung may X-linked recessive tayo, meron din tayong X-linked dominant. And for X-linked dominant, similar to autosomal dominant, so ang mangyayari dito, ayun, yung shaded individuals natin in your X-linked dominant inheritance would be expressing individuals express the dominant trait. So, ayan. So, itong si tatay, dominant yan. Itong tatlong to, dominant din sila. Ito rin, si kuya, dominant din siya. Tapos, lahat ng unshaded ay recessive. Okay? At ang clue natin for your X-linked dominant is a father-to-daughter transmission. This means that if your father is shaded, lahat ng anak niyang babae ay magiging shaded din. Okay? For example, we have this one. O, si tatay, naka-shade siya. Lahat ng anak niyang babae, si 2, 3, at saka si 4, lahat sila naka-shade din. Okay? So, this is a good example of your X-linked dominant. Your father shaded. All of her, all of his daughters are shaded as well. Kasi yung aso ko, sorry guys. Medyo malakas siya. Yan. And in this type of pedigree, mapapansin niyo na mas marami yung babae na naka-shade. Okay? So, kung bibilangin ninyo yung shaded na babae versus shaded na lalaki, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 na babae na naka-shade. Tapos sa lalaki, 1, 2, 3, 4 lang. Okay? So, yan yung ating titignan na clue for your X-linked dominant. Very important, guys, na alam niyo yung clues natin for the pedigrees. Kasi, madalas yan lang naman yung kailangan ninyo to answer yung question sa NMAT. Okay? As in, that is going to save your, it's going to save you a lot of time. Yung mga clues na to. So, tatandaan niyo sila, ha? Okay? And then, as summary, so ano ba yung gagawin natin kapag binigyan kayo ng pedigree? For example, sa exam, may pedigree na binigay, pero you have to identify you have to identify the inheritance. So what you're going to do, number 1, is to count the number of your affected females and males. Kapag equal sila, most likely autosomal yan. Kapag hindi sila equal, kasi napakalaki ng gap between the males and females, most likely you are looking at an X-linked inheritance. Kapag na-identify mo na autosomal siya, so kapag lahat ng generation, so lahat ng rows dun sa pedigree ay may naka-shade, so that's going to be autosomal dominant. Kapag naman may skipping of generations or hindi lahat ng generations ay may shaded individual, so you are looking at autosomal recessive. Kapag naman na-identify mo na X-linked yung pedigree, so X-linked dominant siya kapag mas marami yung babae na affected. Recessive naman kapag mas marami yung lalaki. Okay? Yan lang guys yung gagawin ninyo. Okay? Yan lang yung kailangan ninyong tignan para malaman kung ano yung inheritance given the pedigree. Okay? So, pakikopya. So, ito na rin actually yung summary ninyo ng different natin na mga clues. So, pakikopya po nung slide na to. Okay? So, if hindi nyo pa rin, or medyo hindi nyo pa rin gets yung nangyayari sa pedigree, marami naman tayo examples later dun sa quiz. So, i-discuss naman natin yung quiz later, so don't worry guys. Okay? So, most likely, baka naman medyo malinawan kayo mamaya. But for now, let's have a quick example. So, in the given pedigree, the inheritance of characteristic A is autosomal dominant. If individuals 6 and 7 have another daughter, so si 6 at saka si 7, what are the chances that she will be affected? Sige, try ninyong sagutan, guys. So kapag sinabi na chances, percentage to ha, 0%, 10%, 25%, 50%, etc. Yan. So if you are given this pedigree, again, this is autosomal dominant. And autosomal dominant. So what are the chances that she will be affected? Sige. Ano kayang sagot? Nakopya na yung slide kasi i-move ko na siya to the next one. Okay na? Nakopya na? So una, ayan. Ano kaya yung, hindi pala phenotype, genotype ng ating parents? What is the genotype of individual 6? What do you think? Ano yung genotype niya? Very good. Hetero. Bakit siya hetero? You look at its parents. But it's, you look at his parents. Okay? Yung nanay niya, dominant. Yung tatay niya, recessive. Kasi di ba unshaded, tapos autosomal dominant to. So if you have a dominant mother and a recessive father, most likely, hetero yung magiging genotype mo. Okay? Kaya genotype ni individual 6 ay hetero. Ay heterozygote siya. What about individual 7? So either homodominant or hetero. 'Di ba? Pero you look at the offsprings. Yung offsprings natin, meron tayong recessive na dalawa. Tapos isang dominant. If you have two recessive na children, ano kaya ang dapat maging genotype nitong parent number 2 or ni individual 7 para makuha natin itong combinations na to? Very good. Hetero. Okay? Kailangan hetero din si individual 7 kasi if you cross a hetero and a hetero, makakuha tayo ng recessive na offspring. Pero kapag tayo ay nag-cross ng homozygous dominant at saka ng isang hetero, wala po tayong makukuhang recessive na offspring. Okay? Kaya the correct answer here should be heterozygous din si individual 7. So ngayon, alam na natin yung genotypes ng ating parents. Kukross nyo lang. Okay? So cross lang natin. So drawing kayo ng square, 4 na quadrant. Per quadrant, mag-assign tayo ng isang allele. So we have here hetero, tapos hetero. And then just do the Punnett square. So first offspring, dominant. Second offspring natin, hetero. Third offspring natin, hetero. Fourth offspring natin, homozygous recessive. Do you agree, guys? Tama ba yung Punnett square ko? Do you agree dun sa Punnett square natin? Ito ba yung nakuha ninyo? Sige. Sige, Punnett square pa kayo dyan. Tignan natin kung pareho tayo na nakuha. Pareho ba? Nag-Punnett square ba kayo, guys? Okay, same naman, no? So you're also going to get the same genotypes. Okay? So we have, sorry. Ayun. So yung genotypes natin, tatlo tuloy, sorry. Isang homodominant, dalawang hetero, at saka isang homorecessive. Phenotype natin, 75% na dominant, 25% na recessive. Kaya ang tamang sagot natin dito sa ating example, 75%. There is a 75% chance that your daughter or the daughter of these individuals is going to be dominant. Okay? Sagot natin dito, 75% chance. Yun lang. So, ganun lang sagutan itong example. Okay? You only need to get the percent chance of getting a dominant na anak. Okay? Or a dominant trait na offspring. 75% chance. Nakuha po ba, guys, kung bakit ito yung sagot? Nasundan naman po ba? Okay. So, dito sa example na to, very important, guys, na medyo marunong tayong tumingin ng pedigree. So, again, kaya very important na alam niyo kung sino yung dominant at saka sino yung recessive depende sa inheritance. Okay? So, dito, autosomal dominant. So, the shaded individuals would be the dominantly expressing individuals. Yung mga unshaded naman sila yung recessive. Okay? So, tatandaan niyo yun, guys, ha? So, kung sino or kung ano yung ating trait of interest, siya yung nakashade dun sa inheritance. So, for autosomal dominant and X-linked dominant, the shaded individuals would have dominant trait. X-linked recessive naman at saka autosomal recessive, sila po yung recessive trait yung nakashade. Dapat alam niyo yun kasi yun yung magiging basis natin kung ano yung genotype ng individuals. Okay? So, practice, guys. Mamaya naman magdi-discuss pa tayo ng mga examples dun sa quiz. Right? So, pakicopy na lang po nung slide. And sige po, kopyahin nyo muna ito ha, tapos babalik ko dun sa previous na slide. Ina, nakopya na? Okay. Again, ito yung question. So, pakikopya po kung hindi nyo po siya na-copy kanina. Okay? And that's it, guys, for your genetics, actually. So, again, please review yung ating mga terminologies, yung Punnett square, and your pedigree. So, lahat ng diniscuss natin today sa genetics, nalabas yan lahat sa exam. Okay, so please review. Okay? Mali ko, okay. Anyway, Yan. So now let's go to the last part of your biology session. Napakabilis lang nito, guys. We're just gonna quickly discuss ecology. So sa ecology naman, kung ano yung mga nasa module book ninyo, yun po yung madalas na mga lumalabas sa NMAT. Minsan sinashuffle lang nila yung mga questions, so please review yung nandun sa module book. Pero I'm just gonna discuss, I think 3 slides lang ata to, yung mga common na topics na lumalabas sa NMAT. So ito yung recurring talaga. First one, ecological hierarchy. Siguro naman hindi na natin to kailangang i-discuss ng masinsinan, no? So just remember guys, nasa ecological hierarchy, so we have your cell, your tissue, your organ system, your organism, population, community, and ecosystem. Okay? Ang kailangan nyo lang tandaan dyan ay yung mga naka-mark as red. So yan yung pinaka-importante. Okay? Na naka-emphasize dyan. Keep. Kailangan alam niya rin yung pagkakasunod-sunod ha ng mga groups natin. Kaya nga siya hierarchy. So you have to know the hierarchy from cell to ecosystem. Pakicopy na lang po for your reference. And then we also have your basic animal body types. Ayan. So for your basic animal body types, you have your endo and ectotherms. Kapag sinabi natin na endo, diba, that means inside. So heat inside. So endotherms means heat inside. These are animals that can produce their own heat via metabolic processes. Ecto naman means outside. So ito yung mga animals na kumukuha ng heat from the environment. We also have your homeo and your poikilotherms. Kapag sinabi natin na homeotherms, ito po yung mga animals that maintain a constant body temperature. Okay? So regardless kung tumataas man or bumababa sa environmental temperature, walang pakialam itong mga homeotherms. And then lastly, we have your poikilotherms, and your poikilotherms naman would adjust their body temperature depende sa environmental temp. So kapag tumataas yung environmental temperature, tumataas din yung body temperature ng ating mga poikilotherms. Okay? Kapag naman bumababa sa environmental temperature, bumababa din yung body temperature ng mga poikilotherms natin. Ayan. So, doon naman sa examples, guys, kahit itong nasa table lang yung sa uluhin, hindi naman sa uluhin. Familiar lang. Okay? Kasi hindi naman nagpo-focus dun sa examples yung mga previous na tanong. Madalas, it's more on objective type. Minsan, ginagraph din nila. Okay? Ayan. So, pakicopy na lang, guys, ng slide. Okay? And then, we also have this graph. So, itong graph na to, paborito tong gamitin sa NMAT. Ito yung graph ng poikilo at saka homeotherms natin. So, the graph that is going steeply, ayan yung poikilotherms. So, remember na si poikilotherms, nag-i-increase ang kanyang body temp as you increase the environmental temperature. Homeotherms naman, on the other hand, constant yung kanyang body temp. Kaya kapag ginagraph yan, madalas straight line lang siya. Okay? So, pakicopy na lang din ng slide na to. Okay na? And then the last sa ecology, Sabi sa inyo guys, sobrang short na discussion lang. 3 slides? 4 slides. Yan. So, you have reproductive isolation. So, reproductive isolation is basically, ano ba? It's a mechanism, or not really a mechanism, but more of a state kung saan meron tayong mechanisms that lead to reproductive isolation, wherein your parts of the population cannot mate with other members coming from the same population. Okay? So, what I mean is, meron tayong population, isang parte niya, hindi niya na kayang makipag-mate dun sa kanyang mga kasamahan. Bakit kaya? Eh, same population, so ibig sabihin same species lang yon. So, why is it that they can no longer mate with each other? Main cause nito, either geographical or genetic drift. At kapag nagkaroon tayo ng genetic drift, meron tayong dalawang isolation types na pwedeng makuha. The first one is temporal. Nagkakaroon tayo ngayon ng shift sa oras or season of mating. At kapag nagkaiba na po tayo ng oras or season of mating from the rest of the population, syempre di na tayo makakapag-mate with them. Another thing na pwedeng magbago through genetic drift is behavior. Pwede na magkaiba na kayo ng behavioral patterns when it comes to mating or from attraction. So, pwede na iba na yung mating calls ninyo, pwede na magkaiba kayo ng mating dances. And if magkaiba kayo ng mating song, syempre di kayo ma-attract sa isa't isa, and hindi kayo mag-mate with each other. Okay? And then lastly, so we also have physical barriers, which is given by geographical isolation. So, pwede na isang parte ng population natin ay mahiwalay from the rest of the group because of geographical differences. So, pwede na geographical element like body of water, mountain, or even natural disasters. Okay? At kapag nagkahiwalay, yung dalawang groups na yon coming from the same population, so that can still lead to genetic drift. Okay? So, pwede na magbago na yung nahiwalay na population from the rest of the group. Okay? And that is your reproductive isolation in a nutshell. Yan lang. So, tatandaan nyo lang basta dito, guys, yung tatlong isolating mechanisms natin. Again, we have temporal, behavioral, and geographical. Madalas, itong tatlong isolating mechanisms lang naman po yung tinatanong sa exam. And then again, guys, please review yung mga nasa module book natin, especially yung mga ecological niche. So, yung mga food web, food chain, yung mga mutualism, and competition, predation, etc. Kasi lumalabas din po yan sa NMAT. And then, dun sa nagpapabalik dito sa ecological hierarchy, there you go po. And so, any questions or any slides pa po na babalikan before we take a quick break? Meron pa po ba ng mga babalikan na slides? Or questions, concerns, clarifications before we take a break po? Do you have to remember names who pioneered specific concepts? Basahin nyo lang. Okay? Basahin nyo lang. Pero madalas hindi kasi masyadong matanong dun sa mga people. Ayan, lalo na sa biology. Hindi sila masyadong matanong when it comes to the people involved. But more on the concepts. Okay? Pero basahin nyo lang din para may idea kayo. But again, ayun, you don't really need to memorize. Okay? Any other questions, concerns, clarifications po before we go? Break lang ha, hindi pa po tapos. May chem pa. Meron pang quiz. Okay. So if wala po, siguro we can take a 10-minute break. Balik na lang tayo ng 10:15. And then please make sure po na may kopya kayo ng ating quiz po sa bio. I think this quiz number 2 nga ba? Ayan, so quiz number 2. So pakikuha na lang din ng kopya ninyo nito. And then you can also read through it. Okay? Kung hindi nyo pa nasasagutan, sige, try nyong sagutan. Again, guys, 10-minute break. Balik na lang po tayo ng 10:15. If you have any questions, feel free po to leave it sa chat.